Hey, good morning everybody. It's January 19th, rainy, about 60 degrees out or so, and I figured today was the best time ever to go ahead and change out the starter clutch on a 2001 Indian Scout. See if I can get you a picture of the bike here. There's not a whole lot of videos on the internet for this particular bike. It's a whole lot like the Harley Softail. A lot of the parts on it will interchange with the Softail. Once I get the starter off, I'm going to run the numbers on it and just make sure, you know, that it will interchange with the Harley Softail, or find out what it is that I need to order. But yeah, a lot of the stuff on it is basically the same as a Softail. So we'll get started tearing it down. We're going to get the seat off of it, get the battery disconnected and unhooked and taken out. And then we'll take off drain the oil out of it, and take the oil tank and primary cover off, and we'll go from there. Alright, once you get your seat and your battery out and get your oil drained, when you go to take your oil tank off, you're going to have 2 1/4-inch Allen head screws up here, and then you're going to have 2 1/2-inch bolts right here, and then you've got, let's see what size those little ones are inside there. Looks like they're showing 11 millimeter. They're located right here. You've got one here and one right over here, and that holds this to the rubber mounted bracket back here, and you've got to take that off before you can actually pull your oil tank out. Alright, right there is your starter. You can see I've got my oil lines all plugged off. That way we don't have anything fall down in there. And, now right here, you got 2 Allen head bolts that's got to come out. But before we take those out, I'm going to take the primary cover off over there. And there's a bolt on the inside of there that you have to take off before you can actually remove the starter. So we'll get that done here in just a second. Speaking of my oil lines, if you look, this one has the braided oil lines on it, and I'm going to change those out and just go back with the regular rubber oil lines, because it seems like every time I ride it, I end up with a small oil drip or leak from these braided oil lines at just about every connection. It's just they just don't seem to seal real well. I know a lot of people run them and don't have any issues with them at all, but yeah, I'm going to go back with just the regular rubber oil lines. That way I can get a good seal on them and all that. That way I don't have any more leaks. Okay, I got the primary cover off now. This is the bolt here that we have to remove. This right here, that's what comes out and engages your primary. And going around the primary cover, all of these bolts on this bike are 3/16 Allen heads. If you look, you got, okay, we got the starter off of there now, and sorry about that, battery went dead. On the back side, right back here where the starter goes, you got 2 1/4-inch Allen head bolts. Once you take this bolt here out, it's a 7/16 standard head bolt, and it has a little tab. Maybe I can show you right here. This little tab right here folds up against the bolt to lock it in place. You just take a flathead screwdriver and push that back, and then you can take a 7/16 socket and take that out with no problem. When you're taking your primary off, I don't remember if I mentioned before, you've got 3 different size bolts in your primary. You want to make sure you put those right back where they were supposed to be, so kind of keep an eye on that. This is a dry primary. You can see it's a belt drive. Here lays the starter. Okay, this is the piece here that engages the primary drive to start your bike. This is the jack shaft. It slips. Sorry about that. Battery's about to go dead again. But the jack shaft slips on the starter just like that, and then this sits on here and locks in right there. This is only supposed to turn one way, and if I can show you, see there, this one's turning both ways. the starter clutch, it's not gone completely out, but it's going out. And every once in a while when I hit my button on it, all I get is just like a wing sound. That what's happening is this is coming out and engaging the gear here, but it doesn't have enough grip to actually turn it. It's slipping inside here in the starter clutch. So we're either going to change out the starter or the starter clutch itself. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to go in, run the numbers on this starter, and I'll let you know what it is that actually interchanges with this particular bike. Again, it's a 2001 Indian Scout. There's not a whole lot of videos out there, like I said, on this bike in particular. So if you're looking at this, odds are you're having starter problems, and I hope that this helps you. I'll do another video on the installation, and if I decide to change out the starter clutch, then I'll do a video on that also.